All right, so we asked our Geek Life crew to submit their favorite entries in this subgenre, and here's what we came up with for our top 12. I'll kick us off, which is sure to be a controversial placing. Number 12 in our countdown is Die Hard. Bruce Willis is wrong. Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. Like many great Christmas movies, it's about people overcoming obstacles so they can spend Christmas with their loved ones. John McClane's obstacles just happened to be the heavily armed German terrorist. The action starts with a Christmas Eve party at the Nakatomi Plaza, where McClane has unfortunately hung up his stockings and shoes by the chimney with care. It's going to be a rough night for his feet. He leaves a gift for the evil Hans Gruber, as well as a deceased cohort in a Santa hat with a shirt reading, "Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho." It's a blow to the terrorist's seemingly invulnerability, and also a reminder that you should always make a Christmas list if you don't want to be unpleasantly surprised by your presents. And the final explosion of a shredded paper falling like a snowflake means the filmmakers are totally justified in closing with "Let It Snow." Guys, what do you guys think about Die Hard coming in at number 12 in the countdown?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
I think Jake said it best, actually. I don't even want to. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
No better way of putting it.
No better way.
But we got 12 of these, so we got to go through these pretty quickly. It's not as important or not as good a Christmas movie or non-Christmas Christmas movie as number 11 on our countdown for this week's Top Zen. What do we got at number 11, Kevin?
Those are my Jumanji drums. Jumanji comes in at number 11, guys. The first Jumanji, starring the much-loved R.I.P. late Robin Williams, is arguably one of the most memorable films from a lot of our childhoods. Two recently orphaned children knuckle down to play a board game that they discovered in their aunt's house. That game, Jumanji, holds a supernatural secret, one that pulls the children into a dangerous and unpredictable adventure that sees them fighting for not only their own lives, but those of the people they care about most. Another film with very little Christmas-related content in it, but it starts on Christmas and ends on Christmas with Robin Williams legit in a Santa suit. Some might argue against it, but for us, Jumanji is 100% a Christmas movie, or at least a non-Christmas Christmas movie. And to be fair, that's all this list really is about. Guys, is Jumanji
takes place during Christmas. Seems valid to me as a pick.
Seems valid to me. I kind of wanted to play Jumanji as a kid, although I was naive and didn't understand the actual real-world consequences that my decision would.
I felt the real-world consequences were very vividly laid out in the movie.
It just looked like so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it would be crazy.
Jake, you watched it so much you could basically quote the movie, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen it a billion times. I fucking love Jumanji. I mean, I watched the new one with The Rock and everything like that. And I'm not gonna say it was awful. I mean, it wasn't like it's a movie. Now it's not Jumanji. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, if my kids are like, I want to watch Jumanji, and then I put on the Robin Williams one, and they're like, no, the one with The Rock and Kevin Hart. They're no longer my children. I'm just putting them up for adoption. And so, like, I mean, that's just how that's gonna roll out. But like, you know, it's still it's one of my favorite movies ever made, and I definitely think we can make an argument for it being a great non-Christmas Christmas movie.
You can for sure make an argument.
I think that argument is there too. This next one though is one that you're definitely not expecting to be a Christmas movie, but it definitely takes place during Christmas, and it is definitely about the joy of Christmas. Eyes Wide Shut. It's an extremely limited number of dreamy, erotic mysteries that simultaneously qualify as Christmas movies. But that number may in fact be one, and it's Eyes Wide Shut. This movie begins with a vaguely naughty adults-only Christmas party and ends with a more conventionally bit of a holiday shopping with the kids. Those scenes bookend a shadowy stroll through New York in the winter and a ritualistic orgy. And the film really captures every aspect of the season. You could do worse than spend the holidays with Kubrick, but maybe wait for the kids to go to bed first. What do you guys think about Eyes Wide Shut coming in here at number 10 in our countdown as our 10th non-Christmas Christmas movie? It's beating out Die Hard.
Yeah, it takes place on Christmas, so but it doesn't mention Christmas, or the story isn't about Christmas. So I think that counts. That tracks.
Yeah, I think so. It's not directly about Christmas, but it definitely is bookended by Christmas events.
Yes.
So I think that one's a fair pick, 100%.
Yes.
Jake, what about you? Do you have any opinions on Eyes Wide Shut making number 10?
No, I mean, I think it's definitely. I mean, we're making the argument for it, so it's there.
On the list.
Yep. Fair enough. Number 9 on the countdown, though, is definitely a more memorable one. Actually, my partner was watching this one the other day. What do we got at number 9 on the countdown, Kev?
Number 9, we got Step Brothers. Yeah. Step Brothers is beloved thanks to its hilarious scenes and premise of adult men who don't act their age. For Reddit users FlimDog645, Step Brothers definitely counts as a non-Christmas movie that takes place at this time of year. Fan wrote, I've always been adamant that Step Brothers is a Christmas movie. It ends on Christmas morning, and a pivotal scene takes place around Christmas. There's a funny scene when Brennan and Dale sleepwalk during Christmas and bring the tree into their parents' bedrooms. Their dad gets mad and wakes them up, and chaos ensues. Classic Christmas movie stuff. Yeah, I don't know if this one's necessarily about Christmas, but Christmas happens in it. Definitely checks those boxes. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good Christmas, non-Christmas movie.
Yeah, no, I think it's a valid pick. It definitely is one that it's got a lot of pivotal scenes about Christmas around it. It's a credible pick. What about you, Jake? Got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I think there's so many iconic Christmas scenes within this movie that it definitely hits the vein of like an iconic non-Christmas Christmas movie, right? Like the present scene, and I know that this movie is over a vast period of time, but like it definitely hones in on the Christmas, for like a few scenes, various, and the big ones being Stay Golden Pony Boy that happens after their Christmas dinner. The whole like I'm gonna go get drinks at Cheesecake, or I'm going to Cheesecake Factory. That whole thing straight because of Christmas. And so there's just so many big things that are around Christmas and everything within this movie that I think it's very deserving to be on the list. And it's definitely making it into my Christmas movie list every year now.
Most of the, as Little Snelly points out here in chat, most of the big moments are on Christmas, except for the motherfucking Catalina
wine mixer. Yeah, that's the only one. Like really, like the rest of them are
Catalina wine mixer.
Pretty big Christmas,
That's sure.
It's big important. But not necessarily as important as number 8 on the countdown. Number 8 on the countdown is what, Jake? Who comes in at number 8?
Pretty good movie called Goodfellas is number 8 on the countdown. Often credited as one of the best gangster films of all time and possibly even Scorsese's greatest work ever. Goodfellas rarely gets credit for how funny it is, and it's very funny. And not Ruta Rigna funny. Take the Christmas scene, for instance. Robert De Niro's master thief Jimmy becomes insanely paranoid post the heist in the big movie, the biggest crash robbery in U.S. history at the time, as all the cronies arrive at the holiday party with their newly purchased items, just as De Niro is just like laying into Johnny Roast Beef for buying a brand new Cadillac. Frankie Carbone arrives with his missus decked out in a brand new fur coat, which De Niro literally takes off her back. It's comical, and it's all set to the tune of Frosty the Snowman and Baby Please Come Home. So I think Goodfellas is not just a great family movie, but also a great Christmas movie that you should watch with your wife and children.
For sure. It qualifies to me. It's got plenty of Christmas scenes in it, and it's a classic movie. It definitely deserves a spot on this countdown. Kev, you got any word on Goodfellas making this list?
No, I think it's who doesn't love a good gangster Christmas movie, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Good family, clean fun.
Exactly. Clamly? Is it? Did you say clamly? Clamly. That's a family of clams.
That eggnog is starting to hit.
There you go. Well, speaking of that eggnog hitting, before it hits too strong, tell us what number 7 in the countdown is. Kev.
Yeah, man. Friday After Next. My least of the favorite Fridays, but still, nonetheless,
The most Christmassy Friday, though.
Most Christmassy Friday. The third installment of Ice Cube's hilarious Friday series follows Craig and Day Day as they try to get back the stolen Christmas presents and rent money from a burglar disguised as Santa.
Yep.
To experience various conflicts and troublesome situations, but ultimately have a Christmas Eve party as a means to get their rent money back and not get evicted. Filled with classic Friday franchise humor and tons of Christmas sceneries like lights, decorations, Friday After Next is the best non-Christmas movie to watch when you need a good laugh. It even has a whole Christmas animation intro. In my opinion, it's a holiday classic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they're wrapped up in lights in the freaking picture there.
Yeah. No, Friday After Next is definitely. I mean, I would almost make the argument that it's a Christmas movie.
You definitely can.
I mean, Craig is having a Christmas party. That's kind of one of the big things. Their Christmas tree even gets destroyed whenever their apartment gets robbed. It's robbed by Santa. And that's the whole thing, is that there's a guy going through the entire place robbing different people, dressed as Santa the whole time. And so it's for me it's a holiday classic. And another one,
it's right on the border of Christmas, actual Christmas movie or non-Christmas movie, in my opinion.
It's so funny. It's one of the most quotable Fridays. I will make that argument. I think it is. It's got the whole line about like the chicken tastes so good it'll make you want to slap your mama. That's like an iconic one. Top flight security of the world, Craig. And so, the Friday After Next, while it doesn't have Chris Tucker's iconic character, it's still one of the best in the franchise.
Yeah, no,
and it's a Christmas movie.
Agree. Yeah. So, I think it definitely deserves it. Was spot on here. It's one that's really close to whether or not it did disqualify, just because of it being so close to the actual Christmas aspect of it. The non-Christmas movie. Anyways. Moving right along to number 6 in our countdown, one that I really wanted to see on here, released in 2019, Shazam. Yes, Shazam is a Christmas movie through and through. It's about family. It ends on Christmas. There's a big fight scene in the middle of a big theme park where they crash through Christmas trees. It's 100% a Christmas movie. Shazam just managed to miss the 2018 holiday release that honor went instead to Aquaman, but like the Wonder Woman before, the film apparently appeared to buck the trend of DC movies being dark and almost nihilistic to a fault. Instead, it offered a bright, comedic, and touching story about a boy who is granted powers beyond his wildest dreams and must learn how to properly wield it. It also happens to take place during the Christmas season, lending everything an extra cheerful feeling, which sometimes juxtapose the more sinister imagery. At this time of year, there's no shortage of Christmas movies to choose from, and while there's so many classics that still make an impression, it's never too late to add a new favorite to the holiday playlist. Shazam could just be the movie that one that hits every beat that a good Christmas flick should. What do you guys think about Shazam making it here on the countdown? Jake, I'll start with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was an interesting pick. It deserves to be on this countdown just as much as anybody else, though, because I mean, they use Christmas trees and Christmas lights as literal weapons at one point. So I think anytime you wrap bad guys up in Christmas lights, you get counted as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Kev, any word on Shazam?
No, I think actually, I still haven't seen this movie. I'm not even gonna lie.
You need to see this one. It's a Christmas movie. Now's the time. Now's the time to see it.
So
it probably is. Honestly, I would say, man, it's right under Suicide Squad for my favorite DC movie that they've made so far.
Good one.
Yeah,
it is a good one. But number 5 on the list is one that you got covered here, Jake. Tell us what makes number 5 on this countdown.
Number 5 on this week's non-Christmas Christmas movies is Trading Places. In Trading Places, 2 old rich guys destroy Dan Aykroyd's life and turn homeless man Eddie Murphy into a commodities broker, all because of a bet for $1. At that, Aykroyd bottoms out when he crashes his old company's Christmas party in a filthy Santa outfit and gets completely blackout drunk, banishes a gun, and shoves meat into his coat. It's a dark comedy, but ultimately redemptive, as the 2 Stooges lose in the end, thanks to an organized stock fraud, and a prostitute's life savings, and an angry gorilla. The prostitute's actually Jamie Lee Curtis, by the way. Fucking early on role. She's great in it. But it's just the normal Christmas cliches.
Oh yeah.
But Trading Places, it's I think I said this in the chat. It's like a lot of the older Eddie Murphy movies, specifically from the 80s and stuff. Obviously, a lot of stuff didn't age well. I think if any Zoomers watching it, they're probably going to be like, what the fuck? They used to make these movies.
Yeah.
But like, it's still one of those where it's a classic Eddie Murphy movie. And it's really good. And it has a great redemption arc story. And I mean, there's one line that I quote all the time, and it's literally like the last line in the movie. And it's whenever, he's like, feeling good, and he's like, or looking good, Leroy, whatever, and he's like, feeling good, and like I use that line a lot because like it's just they've won in the end, and they're both sitting on this island and on a yacht, and they're just enjoying their millions of dollars they won in fraud. But then these two old guys are just like out, like living on the streets now because they bet they bet $1 on this one guy, and they ended up ruining their whole lives. And so I love it. I love the whole Eddie Murphy universe too. You actually see both of these guys. They're the homeless guys that Eddie Murphy's character in Coming to America gives wads of cash to. And so that's why they're like, we're back, Mordecai. But anyway, Trading Places, number 5. It's a great Christmas movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Another one that's good for the kids.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic one, obviously, especially with classic Eddie Murphy from the 80s. That's definitely something you want to expose your kids to.
Classic family movie.
Yeah. One with angry gorillas and prostitutes.
Yeah,
and,
Full Frontal from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Full Frontal from Jamie Lee Curtis.
And that's no cap. I mean, that's legit. Jamie Lee Curtis. It's a young Jamie Lee Curtis too, and I mean, if I'm ranking titties, they're pretty good.
You heard it here first, folks. That quality reporting.
There you
go. From Jake. Jake Steaks.
Jamie Lee Curtis, great rack.
Well, moving right along into, number 4 slot on on our list here. What you want to be when looking at Jamie Lee Curtis's rack, evidently. What's number 4 on the countdown, Kev?
It's crazy because Jamie Lee Curtis does Full Frontal in this one too.
Home Alone is number 4, guys. Yeah, with John Williams' wintry score. There seems to be a theme running here in this list. With John Williams' wintry score, annual cable reruns in December, and the fact that it does take place around Christmas time, you're probably thinking, well, of course, Home Alone. Who could debate this? I agree, but also wish to reinforce my belief that the holiday MacGuffin of Macaulay Culkin's breakout hit, while a perfect setting, is not entirely necessary. Wow.
Necessary?
The McAllisters could have taken their Paris vacation in summer. Harry and Marv do not seem like the type of thieves who would wait for the holidays to make a score. And to be frank, the concept of an abandoned child single-handedly taking on petty criminals is incredibly dark, and the film's execution is while funny, a carousel of pain. Also, who the fuck leaves their kids alone on the holidays? Anyways, not to mention, has anyone else noticed that the plot of Home Alone is eerily similar to fellow Christmas movie Die Hard?
What?
No,
Yeah.
they're basically the same movie.
They
Wait,
are the same.
No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to think about that.
It makes perfect sense.
But even if so, of those 2 renditions, Home Alone's obviously the more original, and that's why it's number 4 on the list.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is basically
Die Hard's
Macaulay
number
Culkin.
12.
He's just like going through this giant building by himself on Christmas, and with crazy antics, taking out all these terrorists, right? And so, very similar.
So
Basically
Hans
the same
Zimmer is the robber.
It's Pesci, yeah.
It's Pesci.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
I think Home Alone got it right. No, like
wow.
Die Hard walks a Home Alone. Nobody's flying. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not
This
saying
is another one on the list though that was borderline. Is this just a straight Christmas movie though?
I don't think.
But you don't think so? But I mean, the plot all revolves around Christmas, and the second one was a Christmas movie too.
I think I don't know if it revolves around Christmas or if Christmas is just the backdrop.
See,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. So the Home Alone 2 or Lost in New York, whichever one that is, I think is a little, they ham up the Christmas a little more.
Yeah.
In the first one, we really only know it's Christmas because it's a Christmas vacation. They're all leaving on that, right? And so, like, that's why, like, you know, it even says that, or that's why even Kev, like, you know, to the point of it really, like, they could have made it the summer and this movie would have been the same movie. Right? Yeah. Like it could have been a summer vacation and they would have, and so that's why I think it makes the list of non-Christmas movies. Whereas Lost in New York, to me, I think that's straight up a Christmas movie.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nelly said, that could have been Spring Break. Like they really don't ham up Christmas a lot. And the imagery is not that as heavy as it is in Lost in New York. And I mean, that may be because they have legendary Christian Donald Trump in that one. And so they had to ham it up a bit, but
yep, that's what it is. That legendary Christian, super Christian.
Super Christian's the best.
So Christian that he can cheat on the Bible. That's how Christian he is.
He wrote it.
Yeah,
he's one of the.
That's why he held it upside down because he was like he didn't want people to get confused.
Yeah.
Well, he can read it upside down.
He can read it upside down. Obviously, that's what it is. Yeah.
I heard he translated it from the Latin version.
Yeah, that's the yep. Okay.
But number 3
on the countdown. You got number 3 on the countdown. Tell us what number 3 is.
I got number 3 on this countdown, and this is definitely like one of those that I think some people are going to be like, "Oh my god, yeah, Edward Scissorhands." Tim Burton's most personal film, Edward Scissorhands, is about a artificially created human being with scissors for hands who gets adopted by a family in the suburbs. And a big part of many people's Christmas is trying to fit in with the family, even though you feel awkward or maybe even like an awkward monster. Edward gets chased out of town by angry villagers like Frankenstein, but his fight from the materialistic townspeople to the top of his mountain is also like the Grinch's journey, but just in reverse. He's also literally trimming trees and everything for half of this movie. And there's the whole ice sculpture scene where he's and it's just like making all the snow and everything. And like, you know, she's like, "Oh my God, Edward." And so like, yeah. So Edward Scissorhands, great non-Christmas movie. Number 3 on this week's countdown.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic one. I think it's definitely a sleeper pick that people didn't think about right off the bat, but it's definitely one that got a lot of votes from our crew.
Yeah,
for sure. And so that's why it's so high ranked up on here. I'm guessing that you've got no qualms with Edward Scissorhands making it this high up here, right, Kev?
No, I don't think so. You know, I think when we saw Edward Scissorhands, I thought back to our Halloween episode and Edward Scissorhands was definitely one of those characters that kind of frightened me as a kid.
Yeah.
And I felt bad looking back at it. I was like, wow, I was one of those asshole people in that town that was afraid of this gentle human, even though he had scissor hands.
That hits, Kev. That hits.
I know.
Yeah. That does.
Yeah, because I think back to me watching it as a kid, and I watched it, and like I didn't find him scary. I found it like I was always sad. It was like such a sad movie to me. Like as a kid, I always just like felt like after watching it, you never felt good. You know what I mean? Like I always felt like and I liked it because it was different, because other movies always had some sort of, you know, grand resolution, right?
Much like most people that worked with Tim Burton.
Apparently every director I like including Tarantino, like all of them are bad people, and it's just like, whatever. I'm gonna like their movies. I'm still gonna love them.
It's true. But no, this is definitely an interesting pick for top 10 Christmas movies out there, and I think that I'm glad to see it make the countdown. But one that I'm definitely super excited to see make the countdown, and number 2 on our list, the second greatest non-Christmas movie of all time, has got to be Batman Returns, another Tim Burton movie here.
Yeah, back-to-back Tim Burton, baby.
Back-to-back Tim Burton movies. This holiday season in Gotham is about as weird as you'd expect, with a moody penguin man running for mayor, a seductive leather mama skipping around, robbing jewelry stores and stealing hearts. As Bat movies go, Returns probably offers the best blend of campy sensibilities and odd of the old, psychological, and sometimes obsessively dark modern Caped Crusader. The movie's central Christmas lighting action sequence involves a woman thrown from a building but is generally no less violent than Die Hard. And the holiday themes are persistent throughout. Mistletoe is deadly if you eat it, you know. It's probably the best bet you have for a superhero holiday movie. One thing I do want to say is Batman, as we've talked about earlier in this year, may not eat the kitty, but Tim Burton's Batman in particular, like Michael Keaton's Batman, you know he ate the kitty. Like that Batman, he definitely ate the kitty.
Yeah, Michael Keaton Batman fucks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and especially if you have that Michelle Pfeiffer as your Catwoman, you do what's necessary.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, they should. I don't know why they let her go so hard. Like I feel like somebody should have stepped up and been like, "Yo, we're gonna make a lot of young boys into fucking like weird spandex kids. Like y'all need to chill. Like this is gonna awaken some shit."
Back when I was single, I used to always come home and I'd be like, "Honey, I'm home." "Oh, that's right, I'm not married." And then like my roommates would think I was making a depressive statement, but like, no, I'm quoting Batman Return, Michelle Pfeiffer when she comes. No, okay, fine. You guys are uncultured swine.
I always loved, I think, iconic Danny DeVito performance here. It's probably one of his greatest ever. He made it to where it's been so hard to do another Penguin. Like, I mean, we're finally getting one with Colin Farrell and in this new one or whatever. But if you guys really think about it, like, he's been one of the hardest. He's been one of the hardest villains to return to because I think DeVito just did it so fucking good, you know?
Yeah. But this is the same thing about Joker. You'd be living up Nicholson.
Oh yeah, no, Nicholson killed it, but then like we've had Heath Ledger, we've had like a lot of other Jokers come out. I just feel like either Penguin's just not that, like, he's just one of those characters that I feel like not everybody's been like rushing to redo, right?
Right, but also no one's rushed to redo Mr. Freeze, and we're not giving that credit to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Are you kidding me?
Are you not?
Schwarzenegger.
No, I'm not.
Oscar Academy Award was right.
You know how they want Cox to come back for Daredevil if we ever get it? If we bring back Mr. Freeze and it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm right.
I'm boycotting the film.
Y'all need to chill out.
Take some ice.
They show that clip at Alamo Drafthouse before like all the good movies. They're just like, no one likes someone who talks during the movie. Freeze him.
So good.
It was so good. Yeah, it was definitely an iconic performance, and definitely Batman Returns deserves that number 2 slot here in our non-Christmas movies. But Jake, why don't you bring us home for our number 1 Christmas or non-Christmas Christmas movie?
Number 1, and it was a resounding one. Like I think like everybody almost pretty much agreed that this was going to be our number 1. But Gremlins, baby. We're talking Gremlins. Would be almost the same movie as if it were Gremlins would be almost the same movie if it were set in any other cold winter month like just January. But then how would we get a group of fearsome gremlins caroling door to door? We also wouldn't have Phoebe Cates sharing the worst Christmas story of all time about how her father broke his neck and then died while climbing down a chimney dressed as Santa Claus. Nothing illustrates the naughty nice dichotomy like the adorable little fucking whatever the gremlins who turn into ugly, scary actual gremlins. I can't ever say it's Mogwais or whatever. Yeah, Mogwais. And then turn into gremlins if you aren't careful with their care. The big lesson being here is that Santa's the only person you should be feeding after midnight, if we're being completely honest. But that's why Gremlins makes number 1 on ours. It's a great movie overall. Christmas imagery is there, but it's not quite Christmas, right? Like it's not like it's really driving it home. But the whole reason why we even have the Gremlins is because the Mogwai was a Christmas present. So
right.
Christmas elements, but Christmas theme, but not a Christmas story.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it is the perfect non-Christmas movie. It's an iconic movie. It absolutely deserves a spot. It was a resounding yes from our entire team, I believe. Kev, you supported this option, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Gremlins. Just in general, like I watch it Halloween, Christmas. It's one of those weird places where it's kind of both.
Yeah,
because it
really is. It's got big Nightmare Before Christmas vibes for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Can be both. We do have a couple of honorable mentions, including Mean Girls, Ghostbusters 2, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, fuck J.K. Rowling, Catch Me If You Can, and Iron Man 3 as some honorable mentions. But that will do it for our top 10 or top 12 non-Christmas Christmas movies. Our 12 non-Christmas movies of Christmas, if you will.
12 non-Christmas Christmas movies at Christmas my true love gave to me.
We have a bit about that somewhere.
Yeah.
So we'll coming soon. Coming soon.
Coming real soon.
I want to do a big thank you to all of our followers. I believe that is 57 Ranma this time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Grant Tatiana, for that raid again. We really appreciate that. Thank you guys again for starting off this stream hype train at level 3. We super duper appreciate that. But that will do it for this episode of Geek Life. We hope you guys have enjoyed everything. Oh.
The biggest thing, guys. We freed Britney. We freed Britney, y'all.
Freed Britney. We forgot
2021. If it goes down today, we freed Britney.
We freed Britney. That was the big moment. Well, anyways, that will wrap it up for this episode of Geek Life. We hope you guys have enjoyed everything today. And remember, if you want more Geek Life, you can always follow any of us on any of our personal socials. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch at Rusebane, WRUSE_BANE. And Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me at Gonzo Gone Live on the Twitter versus and Twitch. I'm here.
And Kev, where can they find you?
You can find me at Totally Awesome. I'm outside.
Yep. There you go. You're outside?
I'm outside.
Oh. Okay, just outside. Just outside. Yep. Anyways, you can also check out more Geek Life content on YouTube and Instagram, links to which you can find in the description of our bio below. And a big shout out to our moderator, Littlest Nelly, currently banning all of us and deleting all of us for
not spelling Britney right.
For not spelling Britney right. Apparently. But big shout out to our moderator, Littlest Nelly, always keeping the chat clean, making sure if somebody comes in and their first word is anal, that they're still cool people. Our video producer, the Doodle Dandy himself, Caper Doodle. Thank you so much, Cape, for running all the snow in the background and everything there. You can check out Caper Doodle on Cape's Classics, or sorry, Kicking It With The Classics on Sunday. With Caper Doodle himself. I believe he's been playing a lot of cool ones lately. He did a little bit of GoldenEye, I believe, and Doom. So a lot of real fun ones. He also animates the background, so if you see Godzilla walking through there, you know why. And thank you all of the new followers for the support. We appreciate you guys. Had a lot of more people out here today than usual, and we love to see that happen.
It's been a good episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a good year. Been a good year. Well,
we'll see you guys next time in 2022. Be sure to stick around for that stream, and we'll be back same time, same place, new year, for more of the nerdy news you need to know. Thank you guys again for hanging out, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, guys. Happy holidays.